Cameras capture the world that surrounds us, whether it's the joy that gets us through from one day to the next, or the terrors that lurk in the shadows. Look hard enough on the internet, and you can find the worst of the latter, pictures that creep into your very soul and nestle there, filling you with dread and unease. Images like these 10. Some of the most haunting that will ever cross your computer screen. Think you can handle more top 10 terrors? Well, then we dare you to subscribe and click the bell to be notified of more horror-filled videos. After the video, tell us which picture terrified you the most. Number 10. The Night Visitors. They come to you at night, their intentions unknown. One at the foot of your bed, nervously twiddling its fingers, the other staring down at you from your headboard. You can hear a stream of whispers in the silence of the night, but the words are indistinguishable. All you can do is lay there and beg for the light of day and a reprieve from these unknown nightmares. Number 9. The Child and the Saw. Put a child in their Sunday's best next to a handsaw, and you get a picture we can't get out of our minds. Maybe it's not the image itself that haunts us, but the story it could tell. After slaughtering the child's family, the killer's twisted mind thought to photograph her next to the murder weapon, a demented cherry, on top of an already gruesome crime. At least, that's our version. Number 8. The Dreary-Eyed Clown. Take one clown, put a scowl on its face and a sepia filter, and you have an image that won't soon leave your mind. Coulrophobics have likely already turned their heads away or clamped their eyes shut, to which we say, that doesn't get rid of him. He's still there, his dead eyes focusing solely on you. And that rope? Well, we have a feeling that you'll soon find out. Number 7. The Twins. One may recognize these white-masked children as the twins from Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Children at play can be cute. Twins sporting similar costumes performing strange magics in a sepia photograph is nothing short of something that will creep its way into your dreams. Their all-white garb should give off an air of innocence, but those masks hide something monstrous, and that one eye peering at the camera as if to say, "You're next." Number 6. The Look of Terror. A quick Google search determined that this image is thought to be an example of post-mortem photography, but there's a horror to it that makes it less somber and far more melancholy. What looks like masks freeze their faces in a state of shock, as if their final moment was filled with terror. Whether or not both are deceased is difficult to tell, but there is no happiness to be found in this picture. In fact, the longer you look, the more you can imagine them embraced as they met an unavoidable, grisly end. Number 5. The Basement Prisoner. There's a reason why this seemingly innocent girl is bound to the walls and ceiling, and we dread even thinking about it. Is her captor coming down the stairs, ready to put her through another round of hell? Or is there something horrific about her? A devil in sheep's clothing with a sinister secret? Maybe a more pressing concern is why we can't see her face. Number 4. The Family Photo. A stoic family photo. Nothing entirely out of the ordinary until you spot the toddler. First instinct is to assume that she's asleep, tuckered out from a long day. But anyone that knows their 19th century photography history recognizes this likely post-mortem photography. Nobody is smiling because that small child, who seems to be nestling her head on her mother's lap, is really deceased. This image part of her final send-off from the world of the living. Number 3. The crib. She was unlike other babies, scarred since birth with the mark of the beast. They wanted to love her, tried to overlook every misdeed that came with her. Unwilling to rid themselves of her presence without fate deciding for them, they left her under the aged tree, peacefully sleeping beneath potential implements of her death. The desperate couple would return in 24 hours, and if none of the tools had fallen, they'd know the child was their burden to bear. Number 2. The masks. There was once a time when these featureless masks were the types of Halloween costumes you'd spot on the streets. Instead of superheroes and pop culture icons, children sported what looks more like serial killer disguises. The costumes are simple, but if the intention was to provide us with a hint of horror years later, then we can probably all agree on their effectiveness. Number 1. The Guardians of Time. Manfred Kielnhofer's Guardians of Time sculptures are impressive works of art, but if you weren't privy to their origin, they look more akin to a row of reapers waiting for their next job. These ghostly figures were designed to depict Kielnhofer's belief that we're watched over by unidentified beings. Rather than feeling protected, though, we instead expect to see these robed fiends standing over us in the dead of night. If you enjoyed this eerie slideshow, subscribe for more. Looking to fill the time with more terrifying top 10s? Here are 2 more for your viewing pleasure. Sleep tight, archivists, and don't let the ghoul